Second Lifers, I'm back with another video, but this time is the brand new body and the brand new head from Signature. I had been so very busy working these two projects just for you, and they are finally here. Actually, they were released a couple of weeks ago if I'm not mistaken, but don't worry, I'm getting to it now. I wanted to get the Thunder video out of the way so you guys can have fun with that. Alright everybody, we're going to start with the Nathan head, and it's hard. I randomly started with the moods and the expressions just because it's me, and I love things like this. So you guys have an expression section, which are static expressions mainly for your pictures or your videos and things like that. Those are fun to play around. And you also had moods, which are kind of like a subtle animation. So if you click on angry, for example, you'll see that subtle animation on his face. You can do talk, that he's permanently talking all the time, sleepy, awkward, and so forth. So you guys can play around with those. But I'm going to go to the main menu now. The first thing that you're going to see at the top is head and mouth. That's where it's going to show you the shine of, oops, I think I left him on yawning. What the heck? Let's go back to animations and turn that off. There we go. We're going to go back into the head and the mouth by clicking on the menu section on the top right corner. The very first thing you're going to see is the skin shine. You guys have from the wet look as always. It's a very traditional thing for your pictures when you guys go to the beach and stuff. The other ones are which is something that I love, is the skin shine of your head. You have it from a higher skin shine to a subtle one. You guys can play around with those and change the color by the color picker up on top, as well as the glossiness and the intensity and the glow of it and all of that. Right underneath, you guys are going to have the prominence of your ears, which you can make them as outward as you want or as in as you want. I like to leave them in the middle, so we're just going to leave them like that. Let me turn the camera a little bit this way. There we go. Right underneath, very self-explanatory. You guys can change the texture of your lips. That's a very dry looking lip, which is actually something that I love in Second Life, things like that. And then you can also play with the colors by clicking on the shine button, which means you can play around with the intensity of it. Also, the same thing right next to it is the color picker right next to it to play around with the color of it as well. Right underneath is the mouth. These are actually pretty cool. You can open the mouth so you can see your teeth. You have from very white to bloody if you want to do some role play with that. And the really cool thing is that you can lose some teeth if you want to by clicking on the specific teeth that you want invisible. So if you want to do a little bit of role play or you just like missing teeth, then you can do that. That's actually pretty fun. But I'm going to show all of mine. I also have options of braces and grills. That's also something super cool for people that like to wear stuff like this. I'm going to do like a gold grill on top. You can do some braces at the bottom and then change the colors. They have about 5 of them. So it's pretty cool to kind of like mix and match if you want to do that. But I'm just showing you guys the option. This is my absolute favorite part of the HUD. One, because I have to be honest, guys don't like to shop a lot, and Signature is giving you guys quite a lot of options for your hair. You can do from fade, which is like business guy like, to like the long, a short, and then even those fades, if I can call it a fade. I don't know what you guys call it, but these are really, I love these actually. He looks really sexy. You could even have a scar. Where is it? It says scar. Oh, there it goes. It has a scar right there. So yeah, there's like those little subtle things that you can play around with. I'm actually gonna leave that there. He's already looking like a bad guy, and we all like bad boys. Same thing for beards, from very long and bushy to the one that I had before, which is a little more than that 5 o'clock shadow type of thing. Go ahead and try those out for yourself. Those are, oh my god, beards are sexy. And then the last thing down here is going to be your eyebrows. You do have a bit of options, from the bushy with the slashes on them to the more cleanup one with the cuts or no cuts. And then another cool thing right at the bottom is that you have a menu, or I'm just gonna call it a menu, where you can adjust your eyebrows as you want them, as high as you want them, as low as you want them. I'm gonna keep them in the middle, in or out, and so forth. Same thing with the narrowed narrow or wide. Here is as wide as you can go and as narrow as you can go. I'm gonna keep them mid. Yeah, he's looking maybe a little bushy eyebrow. Let's do this. Oh, I like it. I like the I don't care about my eyebrows look. Next is going to be the eyes, the caruncle, and the lashes. If I said that right, go ahead and click on that, and you're gonna see all of the options that you have for your eyes. I am wearing the ones from Signature, and I don't know if you noticed that, but they actually dilated right now, which is an option that you guys have via the HUD. You can either turn it on or turn it off, and it'll just randomly dilate and retract for a more realistic and natural look, as it says. So you do have the irritated version as well, so more redness around the eye. I personally like to use my own because there's just so much more options of eyes. These are perfect if you don't want to get out of this simple look, but I'm going to show you what I use to hide these. You're going to go into the advanced settings, and then right where it says opacity, you want to click off. It's going to go ahead and hide your eyes like so. You're going to look creepy for a little bit. So the majority of eye stores out there give you mesh eyes. So that's what I'm going to be wearing. I'm going to add the mesh eyes. These are from Song. It's one of my favorite stores for eyes. And I am already showing you guys the HUD that they have. See how distinct and different these eyes are. A little bit more realistic personally for me. So I'm going to keep them in black because it's just I like that on him. Then at the bottom you guys have the caruncle, if I can say that correctly. You have 3 colors for the inner eye corner of your eyes. As you guys can see the difference whenever I click on them. And then self-explanatory, the lashes. Go ahead and play with those. You guys can do a mix and match from bottom and top eyelashes for any look that you want. Before we start looking at the HUD, I do want to mention, because it is a new body, there's not a lot of clothes out there for them, but obviously Signature has some made already, just like this outfit I am showing you here, and more for you to check out at their main store. But I do want to mention that there is a deformer for this body that you guys can wear, and it allows you to wear the Gianni, Signature Gianni clothing, which there is tons and tons of clothes out there for that body for sure. So meanwhile, you guys can do that until you see more clothes coming in for this body. All right guys, let's get started. Shining colors. We're gonna go look at the body layers to tint. Skin, tattoo, hair, fingernails, and toenails means you can tint all of those items via this color HUD here. So I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna click on blue, and then boom, because skin is selected, you can see that my skin went blue. Same thing, I'm gonna go back to my original skin tone. I'm gonna click on tattoo and hair. You guys can see the hair on my arms, see it going darker to white, and so forth. So that's how you can kind of tint the texture of your hair, of your body hair, to match any other hair on your body. But for me, I'm gonna leave it a little bit dark like that. Fingernails, same thing. All of this is self-explanatory. You guys can mess around with that. You see them going black, blue, and so forth. Same thing with toenails. I'm not going to be showing that. I also have skin effects and your Big on mesh. Again, same thing. Wet look, bright, and then light. I like the light look. It looks really nice and not too out there. Again, you can enable and disable Bakes on Mesh by clicking here. We already went over that. You can mess around with the glossiness, intensity, and the glow of your skin, tattoos, and nails. It just depends on which one you're gonna be messing around with. I think my fingernails stayed blue for some reason. There we go. The next is going to be your hands and feet poses. So you do have some pretty fun positions for your hands, or hand poses that you can do here. You guys can mess around with those. You can do left and right, so kind of like both of them or just one at a time. You also have some hand motions, which is relaxed. You guys can do both hands, stretchy, common sense, and distinct. That's pretty classy there. On the nails, you guys can turn them off. I'm actually going to do stretchy so you guys can see the nails there. You can actually tint your nails from black to a more natural color. I'm going to leave mine there. And also another thing that I want to mention is the fingernail length now on these. So this is the longest, mid, and the shortest nail. You can also turn them off because now there's a lot of creators doing nails for men as well. The feet poses, those are self-explanatory as well. You guys can do. I'm wearing socks, so I won't be able to show them to you, but they are pretty self-explanatory. You can do from flat to mid to high, and then pointy if you like to do some pictures or ballet and so forth. I did forget to mention that you can also change the color for your toes. And we come to the body hair section. If you're into this, which there is a lot of guys that do, you guys have 3 options, just like you see here. Also with the back option. If you're into that, it also has the back option. All you have to do is click with back. Or if you don't like it in the back, just click on the main picture like so. I'm only a fan of a little bit of hair. Again, you guys can go and play around with the texture and the color of it, so you guys can lower it a little bit if you want, but I'm going to clear it. Same here for your legs. That is one hairy man. Same here with legs, super hairy. A little less hairy, and of course clear. That's just for your bulge area. I kind of like this natural look right here, except it does get a little bit more hairy at the bottom, but you guys can play around with that. You already seen that I had arm hair. You have 2 options that go all the way up to your shoulder or just mid, like I've had them before. I actually really do like that. But again, I will remind you on Shine Colors, you guys can go to tattoo hair and kind of play around with the opacity of it or the color of it, and you guys can play around with that. And the last thing that I can show you guys is the alpha section of the body. This is also self-explanatory. The majority of you guys know how this works. You can hide your parts of the body by section, or you guys can do it by individual parts, just like so. The middle button kind of like resets everything that you have been hiding. And if you guys remember that I told you you could wear your own nails, this is where you guys can turn off your nails. Ooh, that looks so funny without them. But same thing for your toenails. You guys can turn those off if you want to wear your own toenails. I like the way that these look. They're actually very, very natural looking. All right, everybody, this about wraps it up for everybody. I want to say that the signature team worked super hard. That's why they were on the little download for this time. They were working so hard on the head and on this body just for you. So if you guys have anything to say about them, they always want to hear from you. Again, I'm gonna leave those links on how you guys can contact them, and then the landmark to the store. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. Go and look this sexy because meow, and we will talk later. Bye bye, guys. Take care.